You hit the number, $1 million in the retirement account, 65 years old. You worked 40 years for this. You told yourself once you hit $1 million, you'd be fine. And then you sit down and actually run the math for the first time. Really run it. Not the feeling of security, the actual numbers. Monthly withdrawal, healthcare, taxes, inflation, life expectancy. And the number you get doesn't match the life you planned. Not even close. This video is about that gap. The gap between the retirement number people spend their careers chasing and the retirement reality that's waiting on the other side. And more importantly, it's about what you can still do about it right now before you get there. My name is Dave, and I spend way too much time thinking about the math that people don't run until it's too late. If you're someone who has a retirement target in your head, a number you think will be enough, and you've never actually verified that number against the real math of what retirement costs, hit that subscribe button, because this video might be the most important financial wake-up call you get this decade. Before we start, quick question. Do you know what a safe withdrawal rate is? Not a vague idea. The actual number most financial planners use to calculate how much you can take from your retirement account per year without running out of money. It's 4%. That's called the 4% rule. And at $1 million, 4% is $40,000 a year, $3,300 a month, before taxes. In 2026, in most American cities, that is not a comfortable retirement. That is a tight budget. Let me walk you through what $1 million actually looks like in retirement. And I'm going to be specific because this is where the math gets uncomfortable. You retire at 65. You have $1 million. You follow the 4% rule because that's what most financial advisors recommend. And you withdraw $40,000 per year. After federal taxes on that withdrawal, assuming a modest tax rate, you're looking at roughly $34,000 to $36,000 take home. That's about $2,900 per month after taxes. Now let's look at what that actually covers. Median rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the United States as of 2026 is approximately $1,500 per month. That leaves $1,400 for everything else. Health insurance for a 65-year-old averages around $570 per month for Medicare supplemental coverage. That leaves $830 for food, transportation, utilities, medications, and any actual enjoyment of the retirement you worked 40 years to reach. Here's what most people don't realize about retirement math. The 4% rule was designed in 1994 for a 30-year retirement horizon. But here's the problem that nobody's talking about. If you retire at 65 in reasonable health today, you have a realistic probability of living to 85, 90, even 95. That's a 30-year retirement at minimum. And inflation at just 3% per year means that $40,000 in purchasing power today becomes about $22,000 in 30 years. The same withdrawal, half the value. That is the math most people don't run until they're living it. Here's what most people don't realize about why this happens. The $1 million target wasn't chosen because someone ran the math. It was chosen because it's a round number that sounds like enough. It sounds wealthy. It sounds like a finish line. And most people spend their entire career aiming at a psychological target, not a mathematical one. This is the retirement version of the credit score problem. You're optimizing for a number that feels significant without verifying whether it's actually sufficient. And unlike the credit score, you won't find out you got the number wrong until you're 65, already retired, and the reversal options are limited. Now, you might be thinking, Dave, but I'll have Social Security on top of that. That helps a lot. And yes, Social Security helps. The average Social Security benefit in 2026 is approximately $1,900 per month. Adding that to your $3,300 annual withdrawal brings you to around $5,200 per month gross. After taxes, roughly $4,200 to $4,500 per month. That's a more functional retirement. But here's what changes everything. Social Security benefit amounts depend on when you claim, your earnings history, and future benefit adjustments. And that income is taxable above certain thresholds. And if you have any significant expenses, aging parents, medical events, helping adult children, that budget compresses extremely fast. This is where it gets really interesting. The couples who retire comfortably with $1 million are almost universally couples who also own their home outright and have no debt. Remove the mortgage, which is typically $800 to $1,500 per month, and the math changes completely. The $1 million retirement works if you spent the preceding decade aggressively eliminating every fixed obligation. It fails when you carry debt into retirement that eats the gap between withdrawal income and real expenses. Here's the number that should actually reframe everything. According to Fidelity Investments, the guideline for retirement readiness is to have saved 10 times your final salary by age 67. If your final salary is $80,000, which is roughly the U.S. median household income, you need $800,000. If you make $100,000, you need $1 million. If you make $120,000, you need $1.2 million. The $1 million target is only sufficient for a specific income level. For most Americans, it's either enough or not enough based on something they haven't calculated. So here's what you actually do with this. 1. Calculate your actual retirement number, not a round figure. Take your current monthly expenses, multiply by 12. That's your annual retirement budget in today's dollars. Divide by 0.04. That's the 4% withdrawal rate. The result is your actual retirement target. For most people, this number is larger than their current target, sometimes significantly. 2. Run the Social Security Optimizer. Go to ssa.gov and look up your projected benefit at different claiming ages. Claiming at 70 instead of 62 increases your monthly benefit by approximately 76%. For most people, delaying Social Security is one of the highest return financial decisions available in their final working decade. 3. Make a debt-free retirement the non-negotiable goal. Every dollar of debt you carry into retirement requires more withdrawal to service. A $1,000 monthly debt payment in retirement requires an additional $300,000 in your account to sustain at the 4% rule. Paying off debt before retirement is one of the most powerful retirement optimization moves available. 4. Recalculate every 5 years. Your retirement number is not fixed. Your expenses change, your income changes, your expected Social Security benefits change. A recalculation at 55 and again at 60 is not optional. It's the difference between discovering a gap with time to close it and discovering it after you've already retired. Look, $1 million in retirement is a remarkable achievement. Most Americans won't get there. The median retirement savings at 65 is still under $200,000. If you're building toward $1 million, you're ahead of most of the country. But ahead of average is not the goal. The goal is having enough. And enough is a specific number that requires specific math, not a round figure that felt impressive when you first heard it 30 years ago. Run the math. Know your number. Adjust while you still have time to adjust. Because the gap between a comfortable retirement and a stressful one isn't usually income. It's preparation. Drop a comment and tell me what your current retirement target is and whether you've actually run the math on it. I'll see you in the next video.